Hello and welcome. I'm quite happy that you decided to take this class, so let's proceed with it. But before actually starting the class, you maybe have this doubt where I can find loops that I can use with permission. Of course, in the pre page of this course, you'll have pretty much every resource you'll need, but in general, all over the internet, producers are selling and giving away for free loops. Some really famous sites for free will be Looperman, people on Reddit, and in the pay side of things are sites like Splice, Wave Supply, Producer Grind, and of course people like me in general. If you have any doubt, don't hesitate in asking me anything, really. Okay, preparation. Step number one, find a loop. If you have a loop collection like me right here, or if not, and you downloaded the one that I left for you on the project page, you're going to need to do certain things before actually starting. So let's find a loop that we like. I get this one that I really like right here. Oh, it's beautiful. You feel the inspiration coming? I got a lot of ideas. I'm going to drag it right into the playlist, just like that. And we're going to set certain things up before actually manipulating the sample. The sample is 145, so I will set the project to 145, just like that. And now we need to find the key and scale. This sample also have the key and scale on the name, so it's pretty easy. But if your sample is not tight like mine, no worries. I'm going to teach you something real quick. We can use a software like Key Finder from Reverb. This is an open source key detection tool for DJs interested in harmonic and basically everybody else that want to know what is the key of a song, like us. If you have a Mac, you can download it here. But if you have Windows, just like I have, this one right here. Any links needed will be in the break page anyways. Once we got Key Finder, we are going to press OK here. This is book. Don't mind to it. This is going to say it needs update, but not really. This is the latest one we're going to have. Now we're going to double click the sample on FL Studio. See this waveform? Click and grab. There. Now we're going to press this button right here. Once we've done that, it will show up key detected right here. Or we can also use sites like TuneBed. I really like this one. And this will not only find a key, but also the BPM. So you just the same. Drag the file here, same magic. Here are limitations though, like max file size of 75 megabytes. Now that we found a key and a BPM, we're going to put the key in the piano roll. So we're going to pull up piano roll, going to helpers, scale highlighting, and setting to key. The sample that I'm using is A flat minor or A B minor, so it won't appear here, but I'm going to use his enharmonic. That will be G sharp minor. So if you know what an harmonic is, basically it's a scale that has the same notes as the other one. I'm also going to leave you image on how to find enharmonics. However, you set the key here. Let's close this. It's a salty prep that is really needed. But no, let's get to the fun part. Actually, the techniques. The first technique that we're going to do is quite simple. It's all about speeding up things. So we're going to play with a BPM. That's actually the tempo of the song. How fast it goes, how slow it goes, just in general. We're going to double click the sample here in the time knob. I'm going to press project tempo to make the sample adjust whichever tempo I set while keeping on time. Let's hear. Let's play with it. Let's make it faster. All the way to 160. Now we got a different vibe to it, got a different sound to it. It's a whole different thing now. Faster, you know what I mean? But we could also go slower, like 128. This number could be whatever. Just try yourself. It got now this more slow vibe. However, I will just change the tempo a little bit to 147 because I really like that tempo. And yeah, as you can see, 16 bars, no change on it because we set the time stretch to adjust it. So we on time. Speaking of time, we can also stretch this thing. it is 16 bars, we can make it 32 and see how it sounds. So let's make sure that stretch is turned on. It's pressed right here, and let's stretch it. I'm using the zoom tool to see if it's perfectly aligned, and it ain't. So I'm going to fix it. And once we fix it, let's hear. Ooh, sounds like other sound, right? Things like this change the direction of a beat, of a song, convey different emotions. And music, for me, it's all about emotion. We got this. Next technique that I really love to use, and a lot of people too, is reversing stuff. Let's try it out. Same, double click the sample on the playlist, and let's reverse. Let's hear what it sounds. I'm going to stick with the original one, but it's important. This is very important thing. Slicing is the next one. Back in the day, when hip hop started, a lot of people were doing this with the MPCs. But yeah, this one been around forever, and it works. Same, double click. But now here we're going to right click, and we can use Slice X or 3D Slicer. I like 3D Slicer, so we're going with that one right now. And that adds a new instrument right here. 3D Slicer, it's like an instrument. So if we're going to pattern mode, we are not in the playlist no more. We're just listening to what's in this pattern, and in this pattern is basically this. But we're going to slice it. Whoosh. Some people use 1/4-bit. That's too messy for me. And yeah, surely for you too, maybe. So we can use beat, or my favorite one is medium auto slicing. But sometimes it doesn't work that great, so beat slicing is fine. If we play with the attack and delay, these are going to fade in and fade out the clip, so we can add a little bit of fade in, a little bit of fade out. Yeah, let's see, it's fading. And we got like a little inner balance in it. You maybe like this, you maybe not. There's also options like pitch shifting and feed stretch slides length. I really don't like to mess with pitch shift in here, but I like to mess with reverse. So let's see. We can press any slice and reverse it. So let's see this one. Press this, it reverse. In context, we'll be like, attention. So you can play with this. Really, when you're manipulating stuff in music, the only limit is your imagination. You just gotta use your head. The last thing about slicing that I'm going to show you, teach you, is really messing with the order of these chops. Like this. Yeah, that doesn't sound that exciting, but if you really want to change something, you possibly could do it here. I really like repeating notes and music being repetitive sometimes. You see, it's like it has something different to it. Half time. This is really slow. If you remember, we stretched this, so it's going to be really slow. But I have the original one right here. So let's use it. Okay, we're going to add this to any track. Really? Cheat code. If you're a producer, you probably already know this. But if you're new, like you probably are, this is what like everybody's doing. Half timing. FL Studio have this plugin called Gross Beat that you can use for halftime and more stuff that I will talk about later on. But we're with half timing. So let's open Gross Beat. This came with FL Studio signature bundle. If you got the signature bundle, you probably already got Gross Beat. So you maybe want to check that out. And we're going to presets, momentary, half speed. And let's hear. Ooh, fine, right? It's like the one that I stretch, but this is in original length, not stretched. Half time, but not really stretched. Same 16 bar. It's great. But what if you don't have gross beat? Okay, this plugin is paid, but if you don't have gross beat because you don't have FL Studio signature bundle, this is going to be cheaper. It's like $10. So half time. It's great too. Same effect. With this plugin, we can also play with the timing of the loops. Here, like really quick. Is my favorite, so I use this instead of gross beat really. But yeah, everybody use gross beat. I just use halftime. Let's move on. Gross beat himself again. Yeah, but bro, you just show me that. No, but now I'm going to show you gross beat like an various effect, not like an halftime effect. Gross beat have different presets, like this one. I do really crazy stuff. And gates like this. So it really leaves a lot of room for creativity with these effects. But yeah, I had to like mention that out too. Okay, back to my sample. Speaking of effects, we can also filter the samples itself. I'm going to open the default parametric EQ of FL Studio. If y'all can hear, these have a lot of bass, and that will be a problem if later on we add egoics and more sounds that use that sound range, because the sounds are going to be clashing and fighting each other for that space that is so limited. So what we can do to fix that is pull up a high pass filter right here. So yeah, I choose a high pass filter right here, and let's hear how it sounds. Y'all can hear it opens up, it leaves more space, it will help. And we can do the same with the low pass filter. So let's hear how it sounds. Disclaimer, this can also create, when you're using a low pass and a high pass filter at the same time, a radio effect. It will make the sample sound thinner and just in general, like radio, telephone style. So if you wanted that effect, this is how you do it. With no effects on, effects on. Again, whole different sound. I'm going to tweak it for my taste. Let's hear it right back. I like it this way. Y'all can hear, especially in this part. If we compare that to the original one, it's like they are two different songs. Reverb and delays. This is the fun part. Let's try free reverb. You can mess with the size of the room. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it bigger. Reverb also has filters, so I'm going to use the filters a little bit and lower the bass because I really don't want that bass in the reverb. Here you can change the decay of the reverb, how many times the reverb sustain. I'm going to use a long one because I want my sound drowned. Here comes my piece of advice. Turn the dry all the way off, the wet all the way up. This is going to get brighter, and we're going to mess. Basically, the dry is the original signal, and the wet is the signal with the effect. So we're going to manage the effect level right from here. This is the way that I do it. If you want, you can use two knobs, but one knob for one test seems just like the perfect number for me. That's too much. I like that. I'm going to make it wider with stereo separation like that. That's an option. And delays. I really like 3D delay too. I really the three just like look like Robocop. I really like simple stuff. I know how to use it, but I don't do it often. Here, I really don't change that lot that often. This is basically the penny, like which side the effect is coming. I like to leave that like in the middle of the speakers, but you can play with it because it's music and everything should be creative. Is the feedback normal invert mode that invert things ping pong to make bounce from left to right like a ping pong. So I like that one a lot. Feedback level is the actual volume of the signal coming from the delay, and same dry level. You know what it is. The dry signal is going to be always the original signal that it's coming into actual plugin. Quick note: the order in which you put these effects affects them, change the sound. If you're doing delay and phase, for example, you're playing phase to delay. So the timing, you can play with it. I'm going to see how it sounds in 3, and let's hear. I like it. Nothing of dry for me. And I'm going to grab the feedback level a little bit up and mess like the same knob. That's the way I work. Again. If you want more, you can have more. I really recommend keeping things simple. This is a class, so I need to show you all of this stuff. But really, if it sounds good with only reverb, you don't need to add delay. If it sounds good with only delay, you don't need to add reverb. It really up to what kind of sound you want to achieve. So that's it. Don't forget it. Free phaser is, a phaser can make things pretty weird. So let's see. They watch. I actually like that. So I'm just going to pull the effect a little bit back from here, like mix level, a little bit back. Boom! That's something. Keep things in perspective. With this button, you can turn the effects off. Binary plugins. These are really a trend. I don't use that one on this, but Isotope Vinyl is free, so If you want, you can have it. It's free. With this one, this just add texture to sample. Depth, noise. If that's a thing somebody want, you can model to somebody year. I like the 1960s. So I'm going to pull the effect back up a little bit. Now you know nothing about music theory. Don't worry, this class for you. Do you remember when we said the key to the piano roll like back at the start? For this last technique, 80 more sounds. Really? If we had like an FL keys, I really like FL keys. Use FL keys. It's gold. I will use the roads, and we're going to click pattern after we added this. Close this, click pattern, get it on the playlist the way you want. It's fine. Make that the length of the sample like that, and we're going to create a melody. If y'all see the green, it's kind of highlighted. The darker ones are the notes that we don't want because they won't sound good. Let's try it. So let's try something. We can play with the velocity of this. We can copy, just control B to duplicate, and that's something. And just like with any other sample, we can add this to the mixer and we can add a whole world of effects. I'm just going to grab the reverb, but to show you one point, if you click here and you put the mouse over save preset as and click and drag that, it adds the same effect to whatever track you want. So now I got the reverb that I have on the sample on my little piano here. And we could be here all the day. Let's talk about style print.